Alright, hello. My name is Noah Clark, and I'll be doing my research article on the moderating roles of personal involvement and injunctive normative beliefs. So, just a quick introduction. There's a quote by Eric Hoffer in the article where he said, "When people are free to do as they please, they usually imitate each other. So, as human beings, we are social by nature. We are susceptible to social influence, and we attend to behaviors of others around us, and we use them as a guide for our own actions." So there are three questions that researchers addressed, and that's the reason why this whole article was made and conducted. So the first one was, is normative social influence really such a straightforward and unmoderated process? Does the power of our social environment always override our beliefs and values? And three, are we merely leaves in the wind to be blown by the social maelstrom around us? And just some main concepts that we'll be going over to get to understand this article more. First one is social norms. Social norms are the common and accepted behaviors for a specific situation. Psychologists focus on the normative beliefs that individuals hold. Uh, Normative beliefs are um, spread out into two categories. The first one is descriptive, which refers to what an individual thinks others do in a particular situation. So, an example would be someone at an airport. If they're lost and they need to find the baggage claim, they'll just follow the people that are walking. And an injunctive, which describes what an individual thinks others approve or disapprove of. And an example would be someone that refrained themselves from littering because they feared disapproval by others. And then personal involvement is individuals' interest in a matter because of its importance. And conservation issues, which is issues like saving energy, power, electricity in your household, etc. So the hypothesis is personal involvement with conservation issues and beliefs about others' approval of conservation, injunctive normative beliefs, would moderate the relationship between descriptive normative beliefs and conservation behavior. So research methods. So the first one is operational variable, which is what will be actually measured in the experiment. And in this article, it's responses towards conservation issues. So responses towards saving energy and such. The second is the independent variable, which is what experimenters will manipulate. In this case, it's personal involvement and injunctive normative beliefs. So normative beliefs, uh, it's a moderator because it's a behavior that is more likely to occur if it is believed to be commonly done by others, and also believed to be proved by others. And personal involvement, on the other hand, motivates a more elaborate information processing of things. And the third one is the dependent variable, which is descriptive normative beliefs. And this one um, is important because it is the strongest predictor of energy conservation behavior. So, in the study, participants were recruited in California using random digit dialing through computer assisted telephone interviewing software. The samples consisted of 1,604 California residents, 648 males, 926 females. The average age of participants was 47.02. They were 50% white, 27 Hispanic, 6% Black African American, 6 Asian American or Pacific Islander, 2 Native American, and 3 other races. And most of the interviews were conducted in English and the rest in Spanish. So to measure, they had to use a 4-point scale 1 being not at all, to 4 extremely. So to measure descriptive normative beliefs, they had to ask questions like, how often do you think your neighbors try to conserve energy? 2, how often do you think residents of your city try to conserve energy, etc. Measuring personal involvement included asking questions like, how often do you think about energy conservation? How big of an issue is energy conservation in your life? Or how much do you care about energy conservation? Things like that. And self reported conservation behavior was measured with the question, how often do you try to conserve energy? And last, injunctive normative beliefs was measured with questions like, how much do you think your neighbors approve of people who try to conserve energy? Or how much do you think residents of your city approve of people who try to conserve energy? And things like that. So the procedure took a 2-year period for the data to be obtained. It was a collaboration with Social and Behavioral Research Institute at California State University. Each of the interviews took 13 minutes, around there, and the response rate was 40%. So results. So the first set of results was personal involvement, and the result was just like the hypothesis. There was a significant relationship between descriptive normative beliefs and conservation behavior. They used a simple slope analysis, which resulted in a stronger correlation. So as you can see, low personal involvement shows a strong relationship, and then high personal involvement will show a weak relationship. But in a way, it's still positive. And this was predicted as planned, and, and yeah. So the second set of results was the injunctive normative beliefs. Descriptive normative beliefs were predictive of conservation behavior, and again, they used a simple slopes analysis. So as you can see here, high injunctive normative beliefs showed a strong relationship, and then low injunctive normative beliefs had a weak relationship, but still positive. And then overall, there was a positive relationship between descriptive normative beliefs and behaviors. So conclusion and thoughts. Um, so after all this, everything was successfully replicated. A well-established finding a positive correlation between descriptive normative beliefs and behaviors. Results indicates that efforts to conserve energy are significantly related to one's beliefs about how others conserve energy. And correlation between personal involvement and conservation. And there was evidence for moderated effects. The relationship between descriptive normative beliefs and conservation behavior was moderated by personal involvement, and injunctive normative beliefs was moderated by relationships between descriptive normative beliefs and behaviors, but in a different way. It strengthened the impact. But overall, the big picture for this whole article is that descriptive normative beliefs influence conservation behavior through a rather non-conscious peripheral route of information processing, because descriptive norms is thinking what others are thinking, and it kind of works outside of an individual's awareness. Like, individuals often fail to recognize the strong influence that became clear. And and then personal involvement motivates a more elaborate central route of information processing. And for me, on my thoughts, I agree with this article. Looking back at the quote in the beginning, when people are free to do as they please, they usually imitate each other. I mean, for me, I use my AC a lot, like almost all day, which is bad. I mean, my mom says it's good, but for me, like, I guess when people think about stuff like these, like saving power, I guess that affects me as well, because that kind of makes me more open to how I can change. So probably like I'll maybe decrease the amount of time I use the AC, and overall personal involvement. I think I definitely think about it more too when I think about it for myself, and yeah, that's what I thought. As Yoda would say, thank you, I say.